What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so Stephen A. Smith, in an interview with Outkick, and I'll put a link to this article in the pinned comment in the comment section below. Stephen A. Smith appears to be giving an ultimatum to his employer, ESPN. Either make me the highest paid personality on the network starting in 2024 or adios. He made these comments on Outkick. Now, I was looking for the audio, but I don't see it on this embedded in this particular video. This particular article. So I'm going to read what he said in reference to these comments. He said, "I've mastered my own business in the world of sports television." When asked if he deserved a pay raise, he didn't hold back. "Yes, I'm not stuttering. Hell yes. That's absolutely true. I've been number one for 12 years. April 1st will mark 12 consecutive years I've been number one. Not only have I been number one every year, I've been number one every week and every month of every year for the last 12 years. You don't get to say that about too many people. I look at whether it's Pat McAfee, it's Mike Greenberg, it's Scott Van Pelt, it's Troy Aikman, it's Joe Buck, it's Kurt Heimstrecht. The list goes on and on. I believe these are all individuals that make more money than him. I'm so honored to have the colleagues that I have that I work with at ESPN every day. And at the end of the day, it would be nice one day for this man to stand before everyone and be like, I'm number one, and this says I'm number one." He said, "I'm not just a talent, I'm a business. I've got my own production company. I've got my own YouTube channel. I've got my own show. It's not even just a podcast. It's a show with a fully loaded television studio. That's what I've built for myself, and I could go linear or digital. The list goes on and on." He also pointed out to be underpaid due to his race. Just like women are underpaid compared to male counterparts, blacks are underpaid compared to white counterparts. I'm not talking about me, even though I got news for you. I am underpaid compared to some people on television and what they get paid. But that's a subject for another day. I ain't apologizing for that to a damn soul. I am underpaid. He's not lying. He's not. When you look at the combination of his seniority, how long he's been with the network, even if you account for, the period of time when he was fired and gone from the network, if you combine his total experience with the network, a lot of other people have been there. There's been some people that have been a little bit longer, but he's one of the OGs now, right? Stuart Scott is gone. John Saunders is gone. A lot of other entertainment, a lot of these other people, man, Keith Olbermann, and a lot of these people are long gone from ESPN. So he's one of the OGs. Plus, yeah. Now, I don't think it was all him. Skip Bates was on those programs. And then other individuals was on those programs. But, yeah. He's been the continuing factor, the common denominator, I guess you could say, because other people have left. He has had the number one show for the past 12 years. He's doing huge ratings. He should get paid more. But he just struck on something. And see, this is the problem I have with Stephen A. Smith. It's the same guy that has said, when I wake up in the morning, I think of ways to make money for my bosses, and then I like to get a little bit of that for myself. Um, when you talk like that, you sound like a butter biscuit eating company man. I mean, if you're talking like that I'm putting the company first, I want to make them millions, and then I like to get a little bit of crumbs for myself. That's what I think about doing every morning. I'm just saying, does that sound like that's like the guy that you want to promote as your number one guy? I'm just saying. I remember there was a time when they used to work the hell out of Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith used to be 10 years ago. Stephen A. Smith was everywhere. He still works hard, but I remember one point, man, I didn't understand how the fuck he was even functioning. So the dude deserves his money. And technically speaking, he should be the highest paid person on there. And I don't understand how some of these people like Pat McAfee make more money than him. I would be salty about that. Now, it's not the other people's personality's fault, but there is something wrong with that. But my advice for Stephen A. Smith is just move on, bro. I mean, you're 50, 55? 56? You're young enough still to have a second act in your life. Second act, all right? I think the plan is in place for Shannon Sharpe to take over. Go ahead and move, bro. Go move, branch out. It's time. It's time, Stephen A. It's time. We all get on you about shit, man. You know that. I know you don't particularly care for a lot of us, man. But you still are a brother who is successful in the entertainment industry. And regardless of my personal feelings towards someone, I always want to see a brother succeed. Now, even though Stephen A. Smith does things that irritate me, I don't look at him as malignant as, say, a Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock, I wish him no success at all. That's the lowest of the low, in my opinion. Okay? But Stephen A. Smith, he does get on my nerves, obviously. But I know some of that is, he's a company man. He can only go but so far. The real test would be if Stephen A. Smith became totally independent. Will we get the real Stephen A. Smith then? Or are we already getting the real one and he's just used, that's just how he is? Well, that's what I want to see too. So look, it's time for him to go on, bro. To me, it's time for him to move on. It's time for him to move on, man. You say you want to embrace other avenues, talk shows, entertainment industry. It's time to do it now, man. It's time to do it now. I mean, some of his shows, he could turn his podcast into something different. He could expand his podcast into a totally different format. Well, it's not just sports, But anyway, that's all I got to say about it, man. Tell me what you guys think.